I would like to take just a couple of minutes and put into perspective why we do this. I had someone actually ask Darlene just this last week about this whole idea of going global, about why do we do this as a church? Why is this important to us? And I thought of two words that were important to Jesus. The first word that was important to Jesus was come. He said to the people that he met, his disciples, he said, come, follow me. Come be with me. Come learn from me. Come to me all who are weak and weary and heavily burdened down. Jesus said, come together, come be with me. That's going to be a place where you are going to learn and you're going to find grace and truth. There is a need to come into a relationship with Jesus Christ. There is a need to come and learn about the truth of who he is and who we are and what the future is. And that's what the church is. The church is a place where we can come and be together and learn so much. And we want to invite people. We want to say to people, come. Say to you, come closer to God. Come and learn about this Jesus. Come cast your burdens at his feet. But Jesus had another word that he gave to the church, and it was the other part. He said, come, and then he said, go. And what's interesting to me is that when Jesus said go, he didn't wait until the church was big and strong and mature. He said it to the church when there were just like maybe 100 or so of them together. At the point in time when Jesus had left and it seemed like everything was against them, Jesus took this little group of followers of his, and instead of saying, huddle together, come closer, he said, go. All the way through the understanding of those who follow Christ is that a part of who we are is the going part of us. We are goers. And Jesus then described, just before he left, the angels described Acts chapter 1, verse 8, said, you will be my witnesses, Jesus said. That's who you're going to be. You're going to be my witnesses. And then he described, and he talked about where. He said, I want you to go to Jerusalem. I want you to go to Judea. I want you to go to Samaria. I want you to go to the ends of the world. We've talked about this before. Jesus wasn't just kind of pulling some names of places out of a hat. And then after he'd said, Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria, he couldn't think of any more, so he said, and just go everywhere. No, very specifically, Jesus was saying some things to us, his followers. He's saying, we all have a Jerusalem. A Jerusalem is, we've talked about it, just walk across the room. Jerusalem is the room you live in. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, they're in the room with you. They're people that need to know the grace and truth of Jesus. They need to know about what it means to come to him and have that relationship. And then he said, you need to go to Samaria. Samaria was a place that they really didn't want to go. There were barriers with the Samaritans. There were cultural barriers, there were economic barriers, there were racial barriers. There was a lot of difference, and there had been barriers built, and Jesus said, you know what, you're going to have to go through those walls. And so not only go across the room, but go through the walls. And we've wanted to do that. That's a part of the reason why we've invested in building the Nehemiah Center here in town, the Nehemiah Partnership, to reach into our community and go through some of those barriers that divide us even in this community. And then Jesus said, go to your Judea. Judea was people that were like them, but they were geographically removed a little bit. Jesus said, you're going to have to go across bridges. And if you've been with us for the last weeks, you know we've been talking about this. We've been saying that we as a church have a Judea around us. We have an area around us of people that need to know the grace and truth of Jesus. And we want to say to them, come, but there are a lot of barriers to them coming to join us here. And we've said, maybe this is another one of the go commands instead of a come command. This is where we need to go, and a part of what we're going to be doing, we pray in the next years, is begin to take a little part of who we are and lift it out of here and move it to some place 25, 30 minutes away from us, and have a church that will begin there with the music of the chapel and the teaching of the chapel and the hospitality of the chapel and the people of the chapel, and we're going to do that together. And in fact, I just want to remind you that this coming Friday evening, 7 o'clock, right here in this room, my great desire is that you won't miss this Friday evening meeting together. It's going to be 2.5 hours of finding out exactly what that looks like, as Jim Tomberlin is going to be with us. If you can only send one representative of family, do that. It'll be worth being here together for a part of that, to find out how we can go across the bridges, how we can reach our Judea together. That's what this whole multi-site thing is about. So be here on Friday evening. And then Jesus said, leave home. Go to the ends of the world. Some of you are going to pick you up. In fact, all of us can be a part of it. Our prayers can leave home as we pray for those in other places. I hope you've been praying for the people in Japan. That country is being devastated, but what they need most in all of this is not just physical restoration. What they need is the hope of Jesus Christ. We need to be praying for Japan, praying for our world. Our prayers need to leave home. Our money needs to leave home. Our time needs to leave home, even in short-term involvement. That's what we've been a part, even as a church. And then God says to some people, you leave home. And that's who our global partners are. They are ones to whom God has said, you leave home, and you go to these places to share with others the good news of Jesus Christ. That's why we do this. We do this because Jesus said we should.